are you doing? Thanks for tuning into this video. In this video, I want to discuss some of the information that I feel everybody that is planning to move into Canada should know. As a matter of fact, right before you pack your bags and come into Canada, I do feel that I wish somebody had really guided me about these kind of things, and that's why I wanted to shoot this video and let you guys know right before you pack your bags from your home country. You want to know this stuff. It's going to help you through the transition into Canada. Moving to Canada is exciting. Landing and living in Canada is a different situation altogether. And a lot of people get so frustrated when they get into Canada. So this video is specifically to give you some of the information that you need to know before you make the move to Canada. If this interests you, stick around and let's jump right into it. Number one, the best way for you to come to Canada is either you have permanent residence, that is like the green card of the United States. You can actually land in Canada as a permanent resident, even if you've never been to Canada. After I got here is when I learned that it's more of a smooth landing if you come in as a permanent resident. If it's not permanent resident, at least have an open work permit. Because you know what? That makes life a little easier in so many different ways, such as finding work, even finding where to live. One thing people don't know is the fact that even getting somewhere to rent is not that easy in Canada unless a rental manager is sure that you are legally allowed to live in Canada, and some of the sureties are you either being a permanent resident or at least have an open work permit, then they are sure that you're allowed to work in Canada. So that is my number one point. Better for you to move to Canada as a permanent resident or having an open work permit. The other thing is Canada is such a huge country with different geography and landscape. The Atlantic area is totally different from the mainland Canada. The Northern Territory, life there is way different from the other side of Canada, from Central Canada. Most times we move to provinces or cities just because we either have family there or a friend. How I wish everybody searched and got to know every region. Canada is quite a dynamic country. Some places either have harsh winters, some have bigger cities. It's easier to find jobs. Before you move, you want to kind of do some background research. You want to know a little bit about Canada and know the different provinces, the different regions, see what works for you, and see how you can prosper when you get to the new country. At the end of the day, most likely we are making the move because we want to have a better life. The one thing that people get shocked about when they come into Canada is that this country is expensive. The life in Canada is super expensive. A euro will only stretch this much when you live in Canadian dollars. If you have a family, especially, you want to decide if you want to move as the entire family, or you could decide one person moves to Canada first and settles in and does the prep work. This helps you plan and budget and know how much it would cost you, how much you need to work, what kind of home you can afford, and then lays the ground for the other family members to join. So I want you to plan that before you decide to move. When you move to Canada, be ready to start from scratch. This is a big shocker for a lot of people. We come to Canada in different dynamics. Others are professionals, some are starting life in their new careers, others have so much experience in their careers, some have never worked before because Canada is that country. But when you get on ground, that is when reality hits in. When you move to Canada, you need to strip off the wings that you had, tone down, be ready to start from scratch. Finding a suitable job, especially in the initial years of you in the country, is not easy. Not just for professional careers, but even any kind of job. Be ready to take entry level positions. You're gonna need to level down. In the initial years, I had just moved to Canada. I was just going for the big positions. I thought that my qualifications and experiences were good enough. Unfortunately, no. I got disappointed until I learned to level down. Of course, you gotta be smart, work on yourself in the background, touch up your CV, make sure it is the Canadian type of resume, and pick up on a couple skills, the Canadian soft skills, upgrade your skills with the Canadian experience. You tend to start to match up. Otherwise, if you come to Canada with these high hopes, it's what you show that you can do what will determine how your progress is going to be in Canada. 100%. You've got to be ready to start from ground zero and work yourself all the way up. I wish I could stress this enough. Last but not least, plan on going to school. I suggest this because in order for you to get further in your adventure in Canada, it would be way better if you have some Canadian education. Having that Canadian certificate in anything that you feel that you can do can easily get you into the working world. I would rather know that somebody moved into Canada and right away they went to school and studied something as opposed to you getting in Canada and just go ahead and start doing every kind of job. Don't do that. Here is like literally, you're better off if you have a certificate that matches your experience in terms of what you can do on the job. So think about that when you get to Canada. It's not good for you to come to Canada and kind of feel comfortable. The longer it's going to take you to prosper in Canada. So these are the kind of things that I wish I knew right off the bat when I got in Canada. That is all that I wanted to share with you today. I hope you learned something. Otherwise, for now, thank you so much for keeping it with me till now. I will be talking to you in my next video. Bye for now.